So at the time, my company expenses every month were £40,000 and there was £12,000 left in the bank account. I remember thinking, I have no idea how we're going to get through this month and remain in business. So firstly, if you're new to the channel, welcome. My name is John Penberthy. I'm the founder of a marketing education company called AdClients.com. If you haven't heard of us, go check us out. I think you'll like what you see on there. And if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. We put out a couple new videos every single week. And in today's video, I want to talk about one of the biggest wake-up moments that I've ever had in my business. And I'm going to give you the shorter version of the story. And I think when enough time has passed, I'll probably shoot a more detailed video and really tell the world the full story, because there was a moment where my company almost went out of business. And this is not the stuff that people talk about when you see these YouTube videos and you see the ads and you see the webinars and you see the events and you see all the good stuff. And that's the stuff that people talk about. That's the stuff they're proud of. That's the stuff that goes on the front. But you don't often see or hear about the stuff that goes on behind closed doors, behind the curtain, that actually there are moments where businesses almost go out of business and where things, absolutely go wrong, and quite considerably wrong. So I'm going to share one of those moments with you today. It was one of the biggest wake-up moments for me, and I hope there's a couple of lessons in here that will help you not find yourself in this moment, because you can prepare like I didn't, and then maybe we'll share it in more detail later on down the line. So it really comes down to poor money management. This was quite a number of years ago now, and I just loved the marketing. That was what I got into. I liked creating videos and producing content and thinking of ad campaigns and finding new ways to get in front of the right person at the right time with the right message and lead them to a sales funnel that ultimately has them buying a product out the other end. And that was what I wanted to do. That's what I wanted to think about all day long. And I got to a point where I outgrew it just being me and my laptop. So I started to build a team, and now I've got one person that's on deck helping me here. And then we're increasing our ad spend, and then we're getting a little office premises. And then there's, person number 2 and 3 and 4 and so on and so forth. The team was growing to the point where our overhead every month before we make any money was about £40,000 for payroll and expenses and office and things like this. And I would never say that I wasn't a businessman in the traditional sense of the word. I'm not that way inclined. I don't think about the certain things that you need to structure and operate a business properly. And I just have my head in the sand. I'm just thinking about marketing campaigns, and I'm not really thinking about the bank balance. I'm not really thinking about profit and loss. I'm not thinking about managing our expenses. I'm not thinking about much of that stuff at all, to be honest. And I remember it got to a moment where we had made, I think at that point, multiple 7 figures, at least a couple million. And I remember looking in the bank, and we had a big expense that was coming out, and the bank balance looked okay, it looked tidy, but then we had, in fact, a couple of big expenses coming out that left the bank balance at around about £12,000. But it's costing me to $40,000 a month to run the company. And I suddenly had this huge wake-up call where I was like, oh my gosh, there's actually, I can do that math. There is not enough money in the bank to support the business next month. And it was at that moment where I realized, gosh, I haven't been steering the ship well at all. I haven't been running this company from an accounting standpoint as well as it should have been run. And long story short, I had to hustle. I had to dig deep into late nights and calling on favors of friends of mine in the space, and we're putting on different promotions and mailing out stuff to the list. And because don't forget, when you find yourself in a moment like that where you don't have enough money to pay for the company next month, that doesn't mean we're bad at what we're doing. I'm just bad at one area of business. I was bad at sorting out the company accounts, but really freaking good at marketing. So in that moment, we just, tunnel vision, and we're able to produce, 6 figures before the next month. And we were back, rocking and rolling again. But that there was a moment where I was like, okay, I'm never, ever going to let us get into a position like that again. And since then have made it a priority to, look, I'm not an accountant. I'm never going to be an accountant. I have a very good accountant, but I want to understand accounting. And so I, make it a priority to understand the numbers in the company, what is going on, profit and loss, reserves in the bank. We've now got to a point where we are the complete opposite. We are incredibly healthy. We have one reserve account that's just for the company account that has 10, 11 months worth of monthly running costs. And that just sits there in an account. Some would say that's stupid, do something with that cash, but I quite like the ability to grab liquid cash very quickly if we ever needed it, and know that my employees and our company and everything around us is supported. We're comfortable, we're healthy. So we've come a long way. So if you're in a position right now, and especially if you're just starting to come into money, right? You're just starting to come into a moment where your courses and your programs are starting to sell really well. Clients are coming in, cash is coming in. They don't teach you this stuff. They don't teach you how to manage that money really well. They don't teach you how to put the right portion aside for tax and have a reserve account and make sure that you just don't learn this stuff. So wherever you are right now, you're starting to come into some cash. It is so important to protect that cash. Cash is king in one sense. It's king because that is going to sustain you long term when you're having these short term wins when the cash is coming in. All right. So anyway, perhaps at some point, Pete, we'll do a detailed video. I'll tell the full story, the ins and outs. It is a roller coaster that particular month that I'm talking about. So protect your cash at all costs, and I hope you continue to scale your businesses. Hope this video was interesting. If it was, subscribe to the channel. Put out a couple new videos like this every single week. Sometimes it's more story time like this. Other times we're just diving into different areas of marketing. And if you haven't checked us out, go to AdClients.com. There's a link in the description box. You can hear about me, my company, what we do, how we can help you, and look forward to perhaps working with some of you and helping you scale your businesses. See you in another video.